Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shadowlands Alpha, where we're taking a quick look at the BM Hunter. Don't fix what ain't broken. They like the way the BM Hunter works. Been a meme for a long time because a lot of specs were considered and were, objectively, more complicated than the BM Hunter. However, over BFA, a lot of specs became very simple and BM kind of rode that wave. But it is going back in the eyes of many who are playing Shadowlands. A big theme of the Shadowlands class redesigns has been reintroducing player skill. I know that sounds dumb, but it's true. Specs have become a little bit more complicated, meaning that the more you practice and the better you get, you should shine a little bit more, which means BM's kind of moving itself back into that role of a simpler spec. For the people who like simpler specs, I don't want to I don't want that to come off as condescending. I generally don't mean it to be. Some people don't like playing really complicated specs and don't want to just sit on the bench all the time. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. So they've had a lot of little tweaks and twists, but the general playstyle of BM is going to remain pretty much the same for most of you. Some weirdness going on here. Beast Cleave, of course, limited by the AoE cap, and let's face it, Beast Cleave was a little dumb considering you just press multi-shot and then suddenly your beast just kills everything. I know I've seen our BM hunters do some insane things with Beast Cleave and like, yeah, 100k consistent DPS. Yay! Just Roger Brown things, I suppose. Spitting Cobra has replaced Venomous Bite, which again has a little bit of skill element to it. It now spawns a Cobra to attack your target that does damage based on how many Cobra shots that you cast within your Bestial Wrath. So there you go. It doesn't change your single target much, but it gives a little bit of flavor and something that you probably want to keep a little eye on and be aware of. That's what it does. Cobra Shot has been made more expensive, but in our testing, didn't really make a difference. Like, BM generally is flooded with focus, so a slightly more expensive Cobra Shot didn't matter too much. Sense of Blood has been changed, so it no longer gives additional focus, but instead gives you 2 barb shot stacks when you press your Bestial Wrath. Again, making sure you're not overcapping, making sure you're making good use of it. Stampede is now a 2-minute cooldown instead of 3 minutes. But in our testing, Stomp still feels better. So bear that in mind. I would like to see more Stampedes. I love Stampede, just for the animation. I think it's so good. A new talent that came in, which was Bloodshed. It's a new level 50 talent. And it's a 1-minute cooldown that causes a bleed on your target, and your pets do more damage to them for 18 seconds. So it's kind of a debuff. So it's an interesting idea that they maybe want BM hunters to think about controlling their pets a bit more. There are far too many BM mains who just have assist on, so every time they switch target, you'll notice it. We did a really interesting video, I believe it was in Mists of Pandaria, where we were looking at hunter pets and how many people just had their pet running backwards and forwards doing no damage because they don't know how to manually control their pet. So this gives a little bit more focus to that in order to make that happen. It's kind of an interesting spell. It's an interesting idea, but it's in the same row as Killer Cobra, and Killer Cobra just always works. So, and that's the single target one as well. So it's like, where does it really fit? It might just come down to the mathy boys, the guys in the white coats, to figure out what is going on with it. That might be something to do. Some overall general changes to this one is the lack of volley does make the Kyrian ability seem a little less impactful. The wonderful Kyrian ability you'll see throwing down. So it's not being able to stack, but it's still very fun. It still gives you that damage bonus that you're looking for. It just doesn't seem to line up particularly well with anything else. It's just going to be your Beast Cleave going on. Very minor changes to BM, but overall, it's the BM you knew and love. So if you like BM right now, you're going to be fine.